It's going to
Wait
be
for it to kick. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Again, yes, I'm doing the two lives. One is for the vertical, which is up and down, and one is for the regular widescreen, horizontal.
If you
And
don't
it's
like
just-
widescreen, cover it up, look at the vertical.
Yeah, it's just your preference. Hey, Lady D, how's it going? I haven't seen you for a while.
And good evening, Miss
Yeah,
Dana
just give
B.
people a preference of. Now it looks the vertical looks a lot different. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that the chat. To me, I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn off because I think it's a waste because I don't see how anybody could see that. Just my opinion. But at least, StreamYard is trying, I guess you could say.
Everybody has opinions, and I'm not saying the rest of it.
But tonight, since I didn't get to go live last night, by the time I got situated, I didn't have time to set anything up, so I figured I'll just set it up for today, which works pretty good, I guess. But like I said, the conspiracy for today is, and I'm using this word lightly, conspiracy, because there are so many different ones, and they're not even called conspiracy anymore. They're called urban myths, even though they're not entirely a myth, so to speak. And there are some that, you may think they're myths, or you may think they're conspiracy, or you may think they're true. And we're talking about McDonald's here, so I hopefully it doesn't offend anybody that likes to eat at McDonald's.
Well, now
I'm just leaving it at that.
Let's just go ahead and get it straight. It's not just McDonald's, but McDonald's is catching the most flack from it.
Well, I'll start with this. Let me go ahead and run some numbers by you, okay? And I'm not just going to pick on the burgers. We'll go with the French fries. There's a certain potato that only McDonald's will buy, and this potato can't have any blemishes or anything like this. So to start off with, this is a very hard potato to grow, and the only way you can grow this potato without blemishes is because, a certain bug. So they put a pesticide on this plant so that they don't have blemishes and they grow real long and thick potatoes. Now, the pesticides that are put on this potato or this plant, the farmer goes on vacation for 2 weeks because it's toxic to be around the plant. let alone breathe. They to spray, they're in a hazmat suit. This is seriously, this is how bad it is. They put a hazmat suit on and respirators and the whole shebang, and they spray their crops, and then they leave and go on vacation for 2 weeks and come back because it's that bad. Now, once they harvest these potatoes, there's a special bin. It's a real long, like barn that has fans blowing air out. And these have to be set in there for 30 to 60 days before you can even enter this place without a respirator. Also, that's all. They have to sit like this to be able to eat them. You know, that's just the potato. We won't talk about what the potato is fried in when they become French fries, because again, McDonald's French fries used to be good when it was just beef tallow. Now there's like 40 different ingredients in the oil that is used to cook the French fries. You know, ingredients for a French fry should say potato, salt, oil. That's it. Or, you know, oil, salt, you know. But they have a 40 word ingredient. Most of them we can't even say. The next thing is,
hey, Stork.
The one ingredient is found in lighter fluid. It's an ingredient that is in lighter fluid, so it's the same thing. Or no, that was for the bun.
Sure, it ain't bun fluid.
Or no, the lighter fluid ingredient is on the chicken nuggets, the breading. Yeah, the oil is the same thing that they make silly putty with, that they fry the fries in. And this is all truth, documented and everything. You can look up the ingredients and then see what byproducts this ingredient is made out of. But I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, but we're going to go and run numbers on McDonald's burgers, which is not their top seller. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. 70 million customers every single day order a burger of some sort. Every day.
Right.
70 million. Okay.
See, what is it?
And they make 25.9 billion. Well, they made 25. Well, might as well say $26 billion in 2024. And I got that wrong. There's 70 million customers and 6.5. It's closer to 6.5 million burgers every single day in the United States. That's not worldwide. And it's total sales were given 2.5 million or billion. Now sit there and think of that. 6.5 million hamburgers a day. Okay. Now how many hamburgers can you get out of a cow?
Hang on, what the good stuff is coming.
Yep. How many hamburgers do you think you can get out of one cow?
Is that ground up bone or not?
It's just the beef.
Oh, okay.
The supposed beef. We'll get to that later. But I'm getting to the point here. Around 1,500 to 2,000 burgers for one cow. How long does a cow take to get from baby to butcher?
That's more than I thought.
2 years. Okay. So you're getting, and I'm being generous with the 2,000 burgers per cow that takes 2 years to grow. Now, this is in a day, not a year. 6.5 million burgers a day McDonald's sells. Where are these cows coming from? You do the numbers. We don't, there's not, you'd have to have a state full of cows to be able to feed just the United States for a year. And this is, and imagine this worldwide. In the worldwide, it was 70 million customers a day. And in the United States, 6.5 million burgers are sold. And it's even more than that for French fries. And they all come from Idaho, allegedly. It's, you got to wonder where these cows are coming from. And one of the conspiracies, let me get to this real quick. And I'm not saying this is a thing or anything. And this is a theory, and there has been pictures of this, which I cannot find these pictures anymore. There's a thing called mutant laboratory meat. It's where they generate a cow for their purposes, so to speak. Have you ever seen where they create huge corn on the cob with big old kernels and stuff like that? It's been genetically modified because corn's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be little bitty things, but now you can get really big ears of corn and stuff like that. Well, there's a certain country south of us that has been known to house a huge building, so to speak. And it has allegedly been said there are cows that they genetically altered these cows to be extremely large bodies with no bones. They're suspended and they're being fed through tubes. Their heads are about as big as a softball or a tennis ball.
Sounds right nasty.
And instead of 2 years, 6 to 9 months, they're fully grown. 400 to 500 pounds with no bones. The cartilage is pretty much obsolete because it can be ground up with the rest of it. Now, I'm not saying this is true. This is, this is the conspiracy part. This is all alleged stuff that happens and whatnot. But there has been people that worked there and described this, and other people who have seen it and described the exact same thing without ever hearing from the other people, so there's no cross contamination of a witness or anything like that. And there was a Michigan State University that came up with
hello, Tammy.
DNA of these creatures, and I'm calling them creatures because this just bizarre to me that, yeah.
They're not born.
Yeah. Now I'm not going to say some of the other stuff that they can cause, because it's very disturbing. Some, I don't want to call it a plague, but some viruses that are among us now, and some things that go in people's brains when they get older, they start forgetting stuff like that. Yeah, there's some some weird stuff. And like I said, this is just not McDonald's, but we're kind of picking on McDonald's right now. But
kind of makes you want to go vegetarian.
This has also been linked to KFC, and I'm not going to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken because it hasn't been that for a long time, but they have also been known allegedly for these mutant chickens that are 200 to 300 pound critters, or certain size critters that produce within a week. Yeah, a week. I'm not saying this is, again, not saying this is true. This is all documented stuff that you know, they call it what you call it, urban legends. Now, another urban legend, so they say, or a conspiracy, however you want to look at this, is 100% beef. You know, we've all ate 100% beef before, you know, or at least we thought we did. Now, McDonald's and other restaurants will place a sign up, say, or next to the burger, and say 100% beef. Well, did you guys know where they get their hamburger from? There is a company that is called 100% beef. That's the name of the company. So that's their way of saying that the beef that the hamburger comes from 100% beef, which is not a lie, because it comes from the company that is titled 100% beef. Very interesting. So what are we eating? We've already determined that it is pretty much impossible for McDonald's itself to sell 6.5 million hamburgers a day. 6.5 million hamburgers a day, just in the United States. Because where are these cows? I mean, unless the whole state of Texas is completely packed full of cows. And the point that it takes 2 years to create a cow for making it for hamburgers.
I've heard
not to mention, you know, how much, look at Walmart. Walmart has its own, you know, cows and the whole shebang for their thing. I could probably look it up now. How much beef does Walmart? Might help if I spell it right. Walmart.
I got the same problem.
So a day. Okay, listen. Oh, Walmart does not release the exact daily amount of beef it sells. Okay, well, so much for that theory. Let's try a year, and then we can.
Then divide that by 365 or 52.
Yeah. Okay, they sell 5.1 billion
Pounds.
It doesn't say pounds, it just says beef sells. So
It's got to be.
yeah. Okay, estimated based on Walmart's 18% share total. Okay, that's market value.
A bulldog says 85 million cows are raised in Amazon.
Well, the thing is, now I know there's a loophole that they ship cows from other countries into the United States, and then they butcher them here, and they put them off as being raised in the United States. And according to McDonald's, all of it is raised here in the United States. Now, there is a loophole that if you bring cows here, that, and it doesn't state they have to be alive or hanging weight, but if you butcher them here, grind them up or whatever, when they get the USDA stamp, it's considered here in the United States, even though they were raised somewhere else. Hoping with this administration that was going to go away, because that's a major loophole, and some animals are fed scraps from, chocolate factories and candy factories and stuff to beef them up and stuff. And it's very bad for, the beef, very bad for you to eat that stuff too. Yes, exactly. And that's some of the loopholes I was hoping this administration would get rid of, but it's kind of hard. But if we look at Walmart and McDonald's together, 5 point, let's see. We're looking at 6.8 million daily. Okay, so we're looking at, say, we'll cut it and make it 12 million burgers a day with Walmart and McDonald's. There's no way. And if you get 2,000 burgers out of one cow that takes 2 years to grow, there's no way that they come from United States. Now, Walmart, they do say that it comes from other countries and stuff. So that's, even though they do have a lot of it here, but that is a lot. Where is this coming from? Where is this beef coming from? It's just, if you just look at the numbers, now if you break it down from that one cow, and it makes 2,000 burgers a day, and that's being generous. 2,000 burgers a day times the 6.5 million a day. How many cows is that? That's like roughly 4,000 something cows, 4,500 cows a day. That doesn't sound like that much, but it is. That is a lot of cows, because the cows take 2 years to grow. Normal cows, I'll put it that way.
Now you kind of got to be careful because let me back up here. Susie also made a statement she's going to try to find the real farm. Now, if everybody does that, trust me, the government's going to step in.
Well, that's a good point. There are, especially down south in Texas, a lot of those states, mainly Texas, they do have a lot of the major, hundreds and hundreds of acres of cows. Right. And it's not like they go out and graze and everything. They're in little pens. All they do is sit there and eat all day long, and somebody sprays the waste down into the stream. But that still is not enough cows being produced. The numbers are just drastically from the cattle companies. You wouldn't see in the grocery store, you wouldn't see any beef at all. You wouldn't see any other restaurants selling hamburgers. It would take the whole country to produce beef just to sell hamburgers a day. This is 6.5 million hamburgers a day, just in the United States, not worldwide, just in the United States. And that's where is there, and I've heard the videos before, is there underground bases with lines and lines of cows? Because it's not above ground, because we can see. Are they being cloned? That's a possibility. They have said that they can create cloned bodies faster than they can be raised. It just, ugh. Now, the other thought is that it's not beef. It's printed beef. That is a possibility. But to be able to be considered beef in the eyes of the government and whatnot, you have to take the embryo from a baby calf, or whatever you want to call it, steer, and that one makes I think 360 different cows, or no, 360 or 3,600 pounds of beef from one embryo. But it also takes more of a carbon footprint than it does to raise a regular cow the way it should be raised. That's where the whole, not to mention it's being printed in a lab.
I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And another point, I know for the last couple years, here in Ohio, drought. Now I know it'd be worse down south in, Texas and Oklahoma and, all those states. It'll be even worse. So, that's bad on cows. So, you don't go to McDonald's and they say, oh, we're out of hamburgers because, drought or whatnot. They always sell. Unless you're going for ice cream. Oh boy. How many people have heard of the scam about McDonald's ice cream or the ice cream machine? Yeah. You always go there and it's, oh, the ice cream machine's down. How many people have heard the reasoning behind this? It is a $1 billion business. $1 billion business. And it's both companies. The company who makes the ice cream machine and McDonald's corporation. They're in it together. They could care less about you. They're making money on a broken machine. And it's meant to break. It's in the code of on the computer part of this machine. It is crazy the money they make. So basically, they put this machine in there, and it's programmed to break itself. Okay, so the company comes in and charges them like big amounts of money to repair it. It works for a certain amount of time, then poof, it breaks again. They come back in and do it. They're making billions of dollars every year to fix a machine that is programmed to break itself.
What, every 3 hours?
I don't know what it is, but there was this individual who created an app that plugs into this machine and fixed it. And he got patents and everything ahead of time. And McDonald's and this other company have been trying to sue the britches off this guy.
Huh.
And it's been proven. You can search it up, the ice cream machine, McDonald's ice cream machine, and you'll find the videos. And one guy made a video of it. He's got like billions of views on this video where he proved it with the own documentation and the schematics from the machine and all kinds of stuff. It's just nuts. Okay. Now everybody heard of the pink slime, right? For the chicken nuggets, the pink goop. Around 2014, a photo of pink slime or pink goop was widely shared and claimed to be chicken nuggets. And that's how they were made. This led to McDonald's Canada releasing a video showcase on how the chicken McNuggets are actually made. Now you notice this was in Canada. They didn't say this is not how they were made in the United States, or they didn't say how they were made in the United States and shipped to other countries.
Hello,
But
Gene.
you could say, this is allegedly the way they slung it, so to speak.
Hey.
I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I remember when chicken nuggets, back in the day, when you could see, the chicken parts, not the parts, but how you pull chicken, the meat part apart. Nowadays, it is a paste that they squirt out little chunks and then they bread it and all that stuff. And I can't say the word, but this is another conspiracy or urban legend, however you want to sling it. McDonald's was funding the bad guys in the desert, those types of people, the word. In the late 1800s, rumored that in the United Kingdom that McDonald's was covertly funding, and this is not in the desert, but these are the ones from the Irish bad guys.
You said 1800s.
1980s. That's
Okay.
in the late 1900s. Okay, 1980. And this was rumored, yeah, alleged, however you want to put it, which was designated bad organization. The source of these rumors were eventually traced to a CNN talk show in which the company was praised for its generosity improving the funding for employees. And was somewhat covered up. And when I say Irish bad guys, it's considered the big T, the bad word. Also, has anybody heard the story? I don't know if it was Missouri or Wisconsin. It was somewhere in the middle, or Indiana, somewhere like that. There was a lady that was, I don't know if it was a burger or it was chicken nuggets, but they had bit down and found a tooth, and it wasn't a grown-up's tooth. It was a wee little tooth. And they did testing and found out that indeed there were human remains, and it wasn't grown-up remains. It was little ones. As far as my knowledge, I couldn't find any more information on it. They didn't find out where it came from, or, there's always that, what they always say is somebody must have fell in.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Now, I'm not going to put ages or anything into this, but who remembers in the 70s and probably earlier, McDonald's commercials? I've seen the commercials because I looked them up. I'm not going to play them on here because I'll get in trouble with it. But
Ronald and Burglar and all of them.
Yeah, but there's a commercial where Ronald, and he's a very creepy Ronald at that time too, reaching in a bag and saying, we've got this shake and we got this, and he grabs a little person and pulls him out of the bag and suggests that we have these and stuff like that. And at that time, it didn't mean much. But nowadays,
I saw that on YouTube the other day.
Ooh, it is creepy how it fits in for today. With all the stuff that's happening today. And there are multiple commercials about this. There's a part where the burglar guy is talking about he's in court or something and talking about acquiring little ones for his purposes and stuff like that. And at that time it didn't mean much, but now it is like, it's super creepy. If you watch those old commercials, oh man. Oh, it is creepy. And not to mention, how many people have seen Ronald McDonald anymore? I don't see a commercial anymore with Ronald McDonald, let alone the other guys.
Any of them.
They did have them adult Happy Meals. Remember those? I put a video up or an image of Grimace. I think is Grimace the big purple guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very, very strange. I'm not saying that you're dwelling in the legal stuff or things like that, but whatever happened to Ronald McDonald House? You remember that?
It's still around, but it's not as publicized as what it used to be. Now we got one up here, not far from where I live.
Well, I'm not talking about the fun house. I'm talking about the corporation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Where sick children are supposed to go to get help.
Well, they are to help with that. That in runaways and things in that nature.
Okay, I'm not.
They create sanctuaries for people,
runaways.
you know. And majority of it's supposed to be directed toward little ones. Allegedly, you know.
If I was to look at word up in the dictionary, I'd probably see your picture beside of it.
What, allegedly?
Allegedly.
Well, it's funny because I'll be watching something and they'll emphasize the word allegedly, and I'll giggle.
But now to get back to the Ronald McDonald House, that's the only one I know of is where sick children go.
There is one here.
They don't pay.
Yeah.
Like that. But now the one
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. First of all, I'm just pointing out that used to be big for the commercial.
Mary, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. It used to be a big thing that they would actually have its own commercial.
Yeah.
They would, we're loving it or whatever they're talking about. I think that's McDonald's. I can't remember.
I would go with St. Jude's a lot quicker than I would anybody else. Don't.
I'm not saying anything on any of that stuff because, I'm weary of all this stuff now. That once you dig into some of the stuff, it's scary.
Well,
and like I said, there are like Winnipeggia.
I could have said
it. It has McDonald's urban legends, but these are documented things where this is what people have submitted information about. It's just not, somewhat of an urban legend. It is actually documented stuff. And it's up to the corporation to prove it's not right or it is right, like the 100% beef. There is actually the company that they get their beef from. The corporation name is 100% beef. I mean, it's a smart thing to do. That company could have kangaroo meat and sell it to McDonald's, and all they have to do is put the label on the packages and on the sign. It comes from 100% beef, which it does, but that's just the name of the company. It's not the actual product. It's It's smart. Oh, I'm sorry for anybody who eats at McDonald's. You know, everybody has. You know, I used to love it back in the 80s, the French fries and everything.
Now, come on. Back during the 70s and the 80s, that's when it was the best. And
Oh
I
yeah,
will admit, McDonald's had the best French
In
fries
fact, when we was
around.
growing up,
You
yeah.
know.
and back when
As a beef tallow,
Yeah, it was. And Burger
and
King had the best burgers.
the
I
thing
don't know.
is, um, I think it was the 90s. This doctor came out and said, "Oh, beef tallow is bad for the heart. You're gonna make everybody die fast."
Yeah,
Well, it turns out
beef
that
tallow.
chemical crap that they fry it in now is the thing that is killing people.
Yeah, beef tallow is better for you than what you can go buy from the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, and
Now,
Crisco's even good for you.
eh,
Well, you know,
I'd go for lard
unless,
and beef tallow before I'd
well,
or
yeah.
bacon grease. And now
I don't
bacon
know about
grease.
the bacon grease now. We live down here in the South. Don't talk about our bacon grease.
Well, I'm just saying, bacon grease is better than the seed oils and all that stuff. But we won't go down the road of bacon. But this other claim or myth or conspiracy is human meat. Now I've seen a couple mentions from a movie in the, I think it was the 70s or it could have been 80s, Stolen Green. Well, human meat, a claim that has been around since 2014, including in a video, is that McDonald's use human meat in their burgers. The claim originated from Wendy's. Not saying that, you know, one don't use the other, but I always thought it was McDonald's, but it did go back to in the 80s that it was Wendy's, and it was a one restaurant.
Now, I remember, well, let me rephrase that. What I remember is what went around is Wendy's was putting fishing worms in with their meat.
Well, again, see that this is where those things, because it used to be McDonald's, the regular hamburger was red worm and kangaroo meat.
I remember something about kangaroo meat,
Yeah,
but not the red worm.
yeah, and again, this is one of those
Urban legend.
conspiracies or urban myth that the corporations don't deny or try to prove it's not true. You know,
Yeah.
because it's one of the where it just goes away. So I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but you would think that they would kind of, you know. It's kind of odd though with the chicken nugget one.
Yeah.
The chicken nugget one,
I don't know about
their idea was to have Canada do a video on how it's made up in Canada. Interesting. Why Canada?
Tammy, go get you a true side meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and fry you some eggs up in that grease. Same it's bacon.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's just not sliced up. But boy, it tastes better.
Well, you figure bacon grease is almost the same thing as lard. The only difference is how it's cured or how it's smoked.
Correct.
Because bacon is either cured or smoked.
But if you go into a southern house and don't see no bacon grease on the stove, people don't know how to cook, for one thing.
Yeah, I've had a couple people comment about me using bacon grease when I cook, and I'm like, would you rather me cook with a synthetic grease that was meant for submarine bearings?
That's almost now. Look, me and you and a bunch of other people in chat knows what happened. Go get a bag of muscadines and eat them and see what happens. You know, me,
you keep yours in the fridge. Well, you're down in Florida too. Here, my house is like 62 degrees right here. If I took a temperature behind me, it's about 48 or 50 degrees. Because this wall is like super cold. But so I don't need to put my bacon grease in the refrigerator because it's it's kind of cold here.
I keep my bacon grease on the stove.
Well, I have a mason jar that I have up on a shelf, and every once in a while it actually seals itself. It wouldn't be a very good seal, but when you put the hot grease in, because I use a mason jar and I put the lid back on it, and then y'all hear a boop.
Well, now we got that little metal can, and right now we cannot get over a quarter full on the out. Okay, I mean we use bacon grease. Period.
Yeah. I mean, stuff just tastes so much better than, I used to use that stuff. The vegetable oil. I thought, well, vegetable oil is better for you, because you hear all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then you do some digging, or well, we don't see much sunflower oil anymore. Or there's canola. I think that's a nut or a grain or something. But
I thought
the pesticides stay in those grains and those nuts, so it's actually worse for you. And a lot of the stuff is the fillers that they put in there. It can say, corn oil, but they also add, and I can't think of the words, but it's made up in a laboratory oil.
Well, now look at it like this: nuts picked off a tree, no chemicals and nothing like that added to it. They will go rancid after a while, and they will make you sick. So therefore, your nut oil or whatever, I mean, if it lasts and lasts and lasts a good while, there's other stuff in there with that.
Yeah, I've used Crisco before too, and until here in probably, I think it was like 4 years ago, I learned where Crisco came from.
Don't go there. Half the people don't know.
Well, I've said it here before. In World War II, it was used. It was a great invention. It was used to lubricate the bearings in a submarine. So the war is over and they have this awesome thing. So they come up with let's use it for cooking and stuff.
And the ingredients have not changed.
Nope. And I'm not saying they're bad or good or what, but it originated as a loop for submarines.
Regina wants to know, So what oil is best?
I'm gonna say, and
Bacon?
well, depends where you get the bacon, because bacon is injected with the. Now, if you
Good.
get uncured bacon, if you get it from the store, you're lucky. But if you can find, and that's even with anything nowadays, if you can find a good farmer that raises cows and the
Yeah.
whole shebang, beef tallow and lard, which is fat from a pig. You want for a pig, you want the leaf fat, and
Just deal with the local farm.
beef, you don't want it organ fat. You don't want the fat around the organ. The best is in the muscle, so to speak. You don't want the outside, which you could. It's better than some of the oils and stuff now. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. These companies, they invent all this stuff, and then war's over, and then they need to keep making money, so they invent a new product. There's a lot of different ones you can come up with that.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers just don't match up with and this is just McDonald's. How many other burger places is there? I'm not trying to get everybody to stop eating fast food or anything like that, but I don't think a lot of it is bad. Well, I don't want to say it's not good, but everything in moderation. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, even the. You can look up. There's this guy that he goes in and buys all this food from McDonald's. He doesn't touch it though. What was? I mean, the best way to determine if you should eat something, in my opinion, like we'll take if they're working McDonald's shakes. What should ice cream a shake be made out of? Just say a vanilla shake. Milk, cream, sugar, and vanilla, right? That's the basic ice cream or shake. How come there's over like 70 ingredients in ice cream? What is all this stuff? The thing is, there is no cream, there's no milk, there's no dairy, there's nothing. There's not like a strawberry. There's no strawberry in it. And they list all their ingredients and stuff. You can go to the McDonald's website and see all the ingredients. Come on. Yes, lay down. And the nuggets were made of plastic. You can kind of say that. Now, like the silicone that's in a lot of stuff, even your spices. It could be a wood-based silicone, or it could be a plastic-based silicone. And they can put either one in a lot of the food. Yeah, I don't know anymore. I used to think like Blue Ribbon was a good brand until found out that it wasn't. Yeah, no, I don't want to bust anybody's bubbles about finding out that the food that they're eating is not as good as they thought it was, but sometimes it's very interesting to look into some of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and post this link so you guys can kind of get the gist of some of the stuff from McDonald's. And this was put out, actually January this year. You can find out more about the French fries and the type of potato that only McDonald's will buy. Very strange that the only one they will get is a certain brand of potato, or and I'll go over the rankings, and this is the top 14 hamburger places, and I think I've done this before, and it's from worst to best. So we're starting 14, which is the worst burger place. 14 is McDonald's. 13 is Burger King. 12 is Wendy's. I really thought Wendy's would be lower in the list or higher. I don't know how you look at it. But 12 is Wendy's. White Castle's 11. I remember, and I think White Castle was one of the first burger places. Franchise type, or fast food type, I guess you would call it. Because I think that was 1920s, 1918 or something when they came out. Number 10 is Freddy's. I don't know what a Freddy is, so I don't know how well those are good. Number 9 is Dairy Queen, which Dairy Queen's is pretty good. I haven't seen anything too bad with them. Now I don't see why Jack in the Box is 8, because if you guys remember Jack in the Box back in the day, they had some major issues. I mean, multiple people are not here anymore because of Jack in the Box. Number 7, Whataburger. When I was out west, this was my burger place. Whataburger was. Number 6, Steak and Shake. Number 5, I'm really surprised this one, Carl's Jr., which again is Hardee's in the Northeast. Number 4 is Five Guys. It would have been better if 5 would have been Five Guys, but number 4 is Five Guys. Number 3 is In-N-Out Burger, or In-N-Out. Number 2 is Shake Shack, and number 1 is Culver's. Okay, so at least somebody knows what that one is. I haven't been to a Freddy's, so what would you guys, in your opinions, what would you say would be the best, and this is fast food, not a mom and pop place, but fast food. What would be your best fast food burger place? Yeah, I don't know how Whataburger is now. For the longest time when I was a little kid, I thought it was called Waterburger because it was so juicy. I thought they put water in it or something to make it juicy, and then I actually paid attention to the sign, and it's Whataburger. Dairy Queen, yeah. Lady D says Five Guys.
Okay.
Never heard of Freddy's. Yeah, neither have I. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or a California thing.
Could be a horror movie thing.
Yeah, I like if you can find a good mom and pops that, you know, actually has the ground beef in their hands and squishes burgers into it, and not get the frozen patties that come from Walmart or something.
Well,
We had hold on, we have one restaurant here. It's been a while. The building's not even there anymore. They got a Dollar General there, but they had a burger place come in. I forget what the name was. We went there the first day or two it was open, and the burgers were hand smushed, you know, regular hamburgers, really good. We went back there 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, and they switched to patties, you know, the frozen patties, and never went back after that.
Well, the bad thing about it is this right here. Let's say you do find a mom and pop, okay? The place where they're going to get all of the food from, it's going to be packed with all that stuff. You know,
Well, it depends. It depends on them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's getting to the point now. You can't go nowhere to a restaurant and really buy good food no more. It comes in on trucks. The warehouses are like that. They buy it from great big
the surplus place, or
right.
I forget the restaurant. There's a place down in Zanesville that this whole area gets, you know, produce and all that kind of stuff from.
Right.
But like I said, it's very, very, very odd to find a burger place that, and you can tell. I mean, you can tell the difference between a frozen patty and one that's been formed, like, you know, the old barbecue when you'd go outside and grill up a burger.
My doctor told me I was not to eat at Five Guys, period. Because I asked him about it after I got out of the hospital, and he said, "You really want to go back in the hospital, ain't you?" But it's got a lot of calories in it, from what I understand.
Well, it's that.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. If it's just a burger, you're good. But like we've all heard the story about the guy that found his hamburger in his pocket or something 20 years later. There's no mold on it or anything. There's this other one that it was from 10 years, and he wanted to save it, and he put it in a Tupperware thing and sealed it, and he went and opened it, and they told him, don't open. He opened it. The bun was still squishy, and you could bend the meat and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
I remember that.
That's some crazy stuff there.
Well, now I was working at a convenience store, and I threw my bag lunch where I thought was in the back seat, but it went in the back window. I forgot about it. And the people asked me, was I growing a science project in my car? And I had to look, see what they was talking about. I had just a little bit of mold on it, and that was it.
Well, you're lucky most of them don't grow mold.
Well, this really, it didn't come from a restaurant, so to say. It came from the convenience store I was working at.
Oh, Well, that could be just as bad.
Yeah.
I worked at a gas station that had, you know, those hot dogs that roll around on them hot little things,
Hot
the little
dogs,
bars.
sausage dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, people really get into those things, but you realize sometimes those are rolling up there for 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they'll grab. Oh man, this is you guys have the best hot dogs. I'm like, oh
If you only knew, dude. If you only
yeah,
knew. And the funny thing about it is, on that rolling machine, it's never cut off.
yeah. It's even at nighttime.
Yeah.
Because if you shut it off, they have to throw the hot dogs away, so they just keep it running.
Yeah. Even the flies get on there thinking it's a merry-go-round for them.
You just see them riding on one hot dog to the other.
Yeah. What gets me is this right here, and I know everybody has encountered this in their lifetime. You go to a buffet style restaurant, okay? If you notice, the sneeze guard is for the adults.
Yeah.
But how many youngins do you know that go up in there and sneeze, and there is no sneeze guard there?
Yeah. Some of them are a pain because not for short people, it wouldn't be too bad. Like in 101, just go reach down there like this, but I have to go like this, reach up there and try to get something under there.
Oh, I almost forgot Bushcraft. You know what day is? I hope, and I truly hope everybody is having a great day. Okay. I'm done. I had to
burn his nose.
Even my dogs next door is barking over that one. 101, where you at? That would have been perfect timing too.
But yeah, I would do some digging on. Now, if you go to YouTube, there will be some, the AI things that are way out there, but sometimes you'll see actual doctors and investigators that dig into some of this stuff, like the ice cream machine. I knew it became like a meme, but I didn't realize that there were billions of dollars being made every year for something that sits in the corner of McDonald's that hardly ever works. Billions of dollars being made from that machine.
I want to couple ice cream machines
that is programmed to break itself. It's just, and it's proven. There's documents out there and everything. They don't hide it. Oh yeah, the chocolate fountain. What was it? Golden Corral.
I never
had that chocolate and the kids would just stick their hands up in there and
I don't remember that.
Yeah, in the dessert section they had a little fountain, and they had little cakes that you could dip in there and strawberries and stuff.
Okay,
because there's no guard on it. It's just sitting there.
I was told I couldn't have dessert. I lucked up. I had a good one, but normal people I've heard every day.
Oh yeah. Stick a cup in there.
and
Oh,
drink it.
yeah. You see some. You see, well, not too much anymore because I don't know if they have too many Golden Corrals left.
Well,
Not up
we
here,
got,
that is.
yeah, close to my house. I'm sitting here counting 3 right now.
Yeah, I missed the one they had down here.
4.
Well, down Zanesville.
Well, now I was going to take the wife to a restaurant we hadn't been to in a good while. You know, this payday. Come to find out, K&W restaurants, they closed them down this month. Well, I don't know if they closed them down or if they just went out of business. But dude, they had some good food, K&W cafeteria. You go through, well, again, a buffet line, and you tell people what you want, and they plate it up for you, and that's it. You know, and that kind of, no, all the good restaurants are closing now.
Yeah. There's not many buffet ones around here.
No,
we
ain't.
got a pizza buffet and a Chinese buffet.
Well, you can have the pizza buffet. I'm not.
They used to be pretty good. They
Yeah.
get good. Now their pizzas are getting smaller and smaller, and
prices getting bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah, I remember when we first started going there, it was like $4 something. Now it's up to $15.
When they first, like you said, back in the day when they come out, that was the best food around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every pizza joint was slam packed full. That was before Domino's and Little Caesars. They had Pizza Hut, Pizza Inn. Pizza Inn was about the best around here. And ain't no more of them. Here we are talking about food again.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about it, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. I kind of went over my hour thing for the conspiracy thing, but
just 15 minutes.
I think next week I'm going to try to have start doing the guest thing again. So be on the lookout for that. I got to talk to a few people, see who I can get up here for guest speakers and stuff.
Oh, I got somebody in mind.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody for hanging out, and hopefully I didn't gross out too many people too much. But it pays to kind of dig into stuff nowadays. And
yeah.
We'll catch you on the next one. Let me go ahead and hit the button.
Out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you. YouTube, don't copyright this.